Greetings, chess friends. Today, another game. Hard to say this one is an unknown game. It's between two world champions. But if you're new to the chess world, you probably haven't seen it, although you've likely heard of these two folks. You can see below me there, white piece is Alekhine. At the time of this game, he is the world chess champion, and he's playing a former world champion, the longest reigning champion, Emanuel Lasker. 27 years he was the champion. But by this time, Lasker was a bit older, and Alekhine in the prime of his chess career. Okay, d4, d5. In these days, many games were in the Queen's Gambit declined. Still, obviously, a popular opening, but I want to say a huge percentage of the Alekhine Capablanca match was in this exact opening. So here we go. Still today, this is one of the most common positions in chess. Quick note, Black can play any huge number of moves here. They can capture, they can play bishop to b4, and I've even had strong players play a6 and h6. All of these possible, and probably even more, knight bd7. Okay, in this game he goes traditional move bishop e7. A lot of ways to answer this as well for white, but he goes bishop g5. Very standard. In fact, it is standard because of these guys. So e3, and white has a nice healthy position. It's always a struggle for white whether to move this bishop or not, or trade here. There's this tension, but essentially whenever white does move the bishop, and usually white cannot wait too long, they need to castle, then black will capture and white has to retake. And it kind of takes white 2 moves to get to c4. So that's usually the general meta game back and forth going on. c6, sturdy pawn structure. Finally, white just says, okay, bishop d3, and then black takes. This trick is obviously been well known for years. So knight d5, bishop takes bishop, and queen takes. Now, I want to give a little tagline to this game. Again, something to help you remember, and something that was told to me many years ago from my coach, which is this: good players don't trade. Wait, what? How? Of course you have to trade. Well, it's a bit tongue-in-cheek. Of course, there needs to be trades in chess. But when given an opportunity, oftentimes I would even adjust that little saying a bit with attacking players don't like to trade. Alekhine was known as a ferocious attacker, one of the all-time greatest. And we need pieces to attack. So here we go. Of course, we just traded bishops, Chris. What are you talking about? Well, there's a number of key moments in this game where white doesn't trade. Has the option to play bishop takes knight or knight takes knight, but don't trade. Keep that in mind during this game and in your own games. Good players don't trade. We like to use the pieces to the maximum. So again here, black just saying, come on, just trade pieces. You're going to help my knight jump forward. No, good players don't trade. I need those pieces for later. e5, a principled move, and castles. Okay, white, second player to castle by quite a few moves, but totally safe here. I like this next move by white here coming. What do you think white played? Not recapturing the pawn. Knight, pawn, queen. No, knight f5. An aggressive move, forward move. We know the knights on this square are extremely well placed, but essentially you are just touching a lot of key squares. You can sacrifice on g7. There's the checks from h6. All of the squares around the king are in danger. Knight f5, queen retreats, and we take with the other knight. An extra tempo gained. Here at knight e5, bishop retreats. Good players don't trade. I need that bishop. Don't let them take it. This bishop ends up playing a huge role in the game. Bishop takes knight. Good players don't trade, Chris. Well, okay, we have to trade here, and obviously the queen trade is available. Would be a pretty good move. Engine giving g6 as the best move, but here I think the decisive mistake, queen b6. A natural move, but the engine starts to creep up in white's favor, and I like white's next move also very invasive. Queen d6, deep in black's territory, obviously threatening the knight. And now you see the knight on f5 starting to have some ideas to more candidate moves available anyway. Rook d1, using all of the pieces. This is a very principled move. I think players might be looking for a knockout. Can I play queen g3? That comes in a moment. Can I capture? What to do? But bringing in your last piece is the way we learn chess, at least in the old days. It's more use all the pieces. Of course, if there's an immediate tactic, just do it. But this I find to be a very cultured move. Rook d8 and then queen g3 with the threat of checkmate on g7. And notice again that white has the magical 3 pieces. That's the key number. Of course, the rooks are well placed, especially the d rook. White's looking good here. g6, queen g5. Some nice play with the queen here, really creeping closer. King h8. Now the knight is threatened here. Notice this knight is now under attack. Knight d6. It's also a thought to play knight h6 with the same threat taking on f7, but knight d6 more central, again more principled. Not to say it's the very best move. The engine doesn't really waver. Both of these are extremely close. So knight d6, so more central is good. King g7 guarding f7, and I really like the next move a lot. Maybe it's just my chess understanding or my personality in chess, but these moves that are a little quieter and surprising. e4. This game's over 3 more moves, by the way. e4. And I remember when I first saw this game, really, it's kind of burned in my memory that I thought, oh, of course, that's a good move. I don't remember finding this move. That's a bit of a hidden move. But of course, it's a good move. We're going to push the pawn, kick the knight out, and we keep attacking, maybe push again. No. Alekhine just wanted more pieces. Rook up, and wherever it lands is going to be a very aggressive square. Knight g8. Probably Lasker thought e5 was coming, the pawn push, but rook d3. The real point to e4 is the lift of the rook. White now is adding another piece to the attack. Let's leave out this other rook for the moment, but these 4 pieces highlighted in red are all ready to strike. It just takes one slip here. Ooh, f6. Now, checkmate, inevitable. Knight f5. A scary looking move, but definitely natural. A funny position that both of these are safe for the moment, but appear to be hanging. King h8, and definitely chess puzzle books have this position in them. An absolute legendary. When you're playing world champion versus world champion and you get to do the next move, stuff of legends. Queen takes g6. Lights out. That's it. Let's look at the variations, but here Lasker resigned. That really a grand style of Alekhine, just huge attacker in such an over-the-top way. It seems so. The only legal move here is knight h6, and then rook takes check. Remember, good players don't trade. We still have this bishop we saved earlier. The knight guards, and the rook delivers the checkmate. Beautiful position and beautiful game. There's no other escape here. You can just delay for a moment or two, but checkmate is threatened right away. So, fantastic. Okay. Really like this one. Simple opening. Alekhine just so principled, putting his pieces on good squares. I like the extra tempo gained here. The principled move, rook d1, using all the pieces. The sneaky e4 dual purpose move. Are we pushing? Maybe. Are we lifting? That's what happened. And then really just stunning from here. f6, check, and the queen sack to win. Definitely, if you like attacking chess, if you like chess history, or if you just want to get better, if you're watching the video too, you probably want to get better. Take a look at some games from Alekhine. Lasker was great too, but Alekhine, really an incredible attacker. He just did the things no one had done before. He took that Morphy style to the next level with more depth, more endgame positional skills as well. Alekhine, a real professional. So, all right, thank you so much. Another great game. I hope you learned something from this one. Remember, good players don't trade. Not 100% literally, but just keep that in mind next time a trade is offered. Use those pieces later to attack. All right, everybody, have a great day. Thanks.